Two things really. First one, if it's funny, it reminds me of my youth when I was 16 to 19. But also, if it's a bit gritty, then it reminds me of my two children who are between 16 and 19. So probably don't like it to be too gritty or near the mark. But yeah, no problem. Prefer the comedy stuff.
Okay, I'd feel alright. I'd enjoy that and find it quite interesting that I might get some insight into that age group.
At my age, I prefer people that are probably a little bit older, middle-aged, with perhaps a little bit more experience of life.
I think I could easily relate to the characters, so I think that might be a good thing for someone my age. And there's been quite a few films that I've watched with characters that age, so I don't think I'd certainly have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think it would be more appealing than seeing old people because it's within our age range.
I'd have to sit on the fence there. If it's good acting, I'm alright. I don't mind. I've got no real preference there. As long as it's good acting, I don't mind if they're young or some of the really old actors, really look like they've been around the block, and I quite enjoy that as well.
Older.
I definitely prefer older characters.
That depends on the story of the film. If it's a story that suits a younger age, then yeah, I want to watch that. But if there's other things that only come later in life, then yeah, obviously I'd prefer them to be older.
Yeah, younger, I think. It gets a bit boring when you've got loads of old people in it.
Personal preference, I prefer without a twist. I prefer it to just end up. It doesn't do anything especially for me. If there's a da-da moment at the end, I quite like the story and it to end well. And I think I probably prefer the happy ending. Apart from probably my two favourite films, which was Schindler's List, which is never going to end well. That's just a fantastic film, real emotional, draining film. And then my other one was Shirley MacLaine and Jack Nicholson, which was Terms of Endearment, which was funny and sad all the way through, and then ended really sadly. But there's no twist. It was it ended as it ended, but you feel like you've really been through the mangle with that one.
With a large twist, more exciting.
No, I much prefer a film with a twist, because it gives you a little bit of something to think about at the end of the film, and that's what I enjoy.
Again, I think that depends on the story. I think some of the best films, like Inception, end with a twist. But then again, there are other films which don't end with a twist, which are also really good films.
I think a large twist, maybe, because you don't really see it come in and then you're more shocked. And yeah, I think it's really subtle if you can do it and then have a big twist at the end.
Yes, yeah, I don't mind if I'm not getting it, but misleading me, I would feel a little bit cheated, or maybe a combination of being annoyed with myself for being misled, because I always like to think I know what's going on, so yeah.
Yes, if I get the wrong end of the stick, I feel quite frustrated, but I don't know whether that's the film or me not understanding it.
Yes, I do. I do feel upset, yeah.
Not particularly, because I think that's more of how it's written, and as a writer of texts, I think that it's quite nice to maybe sometimes mislead the audience to create this odd fusion of different things.
It depends sometimes, but I don't know, I think it can be a nice surprise because a lot of films are really obvious what's going to happen. So yeah.
I like to be involved and really understand what's going on. I like good words and good text, and whether that's strong stuff or the humorous stuff or clever stuff. Yeah, I like it to be completely believable. I haven't got any particular genre of film that I would say is my absolute favourite. I used to when I was younger. I used to like all things Vietnam.
I like to be transported away and not think about anything for a couple of hours. To have a sort of, not an out of body experience, but to be completely switch off and get into another element.
I like to be entertained.
I want to gain an emotional connection between myself and characters, and learn about them and what they're going through.
Probably just entertainment, I think, or to get you into a certain mood.
Depends what mood I'm in. Sometimes, yes, but for me, film, television is a way of relaxing. I don't read much, which I should, other than newspapers and things. So I should. So I want it to be entertaining. So occasionally I like to think about it, but generally I just like to sit there and be transported and entertained. It doesn't kill me if the intellect levels weren't through the roof. So a little bit of both, but generally I don't have to think about it too much.
Yes, I do.
Oh yes, I like to think about them and use a little bit of intelligence on them.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy about films and texts, is that I like to be able to analyse the situation and see what's going on and where it could go and where it is going, see what I would do differently and see what they've done.
So you like postmodernism?
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's nice when you don't really think about it, you can just relax and watch it.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, one of my favourite films was Schindler's List. You know, if that wasn't a broad and serious topic, then I don't know what else is. So again, as long as it's well made, and that one certainly makes you think, and you know, and that's what I think Spielberg was after, to really have a hard impact on your understanding of history on serious matters. So yeah, I enjoy that, but my main thing is I want to be entertained.
Initially I shy away from those sort of films because it makes me feel slightly uncomfortable that I'm not doing more to support causes like that, but I usually do make myself watch them to learn more knowledge about them and make myself more involved.
Well, I think life is more interesting than that, and I prefer, as I said before, my films to entertain me and keep me amused.
I think that for me, there's not a problem with it because there's quite a lot of films that I've watched that have talked about serious topics, but also I think there's quite a lot of audiences that just want all films to be happy and not really serious at all. But I personally don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I think it would be a good way to show what actually happens, because a lot of films are more comedy or Christmassy and stuff, so maybe a serious one could be good.
Yes. Yeah, I'm interested in what people think, how people's minds work, how they relate to different things. You know, whether it's the way they're being treated. You know, whether that's through peer pressure or speech, lyrics, bullying, violence, love interest, everything. So yeah, it could be anything. Yeah, but I'm interested in that kind of thing and understanding what's going on in people's minds.
Yes.
No, not really.
Yeah, I'm quite open about the films that I watch. I'll watch anything, so I certainly don't think that I wouldn't stop myself from watching it if I knew that it was about a psychological story.
Yeah, because I think you can it's quite creative with lighting if it's psychological and can be quite interesting.